Hey folks, welcome to some blending. So this week we're working in Unit 4. This is day 2. And all this week we are working on the long E sound. So we know that the long E just says its name in any word. It just says E. And we know that one of the spellings for long E is E blank E. The blank being just some other letter that goes in there. And this week we are learning 4 new spellings for that sound. We can use EA or EE. Those are vowel teams that work together to say that long E sound. And you can tell in a word, if you see those 2 letters together, it's going to tell you that it'll say long E. It'll say E in that word. Also, E by itself is now a new way that we can say long E. So we know that if E has his buddy, that means it turns from eh to E, turns from short to long. But now we're learning that E by itself can also say that long E sound. So you kind of just have to have that skill in your back pocket that you know that if you see E by itself, you can try it with the short sound. And if it doesn't sound right, flip it. Try it with the long sound, and it might sound like a word you've heard, or you might see it in a book. And then we are learning the IE spelling, another vowel team that's going to work together. And with IE, you will always see some letter on either side. You won't see IE at the end of a word, and you will not see IE at the beginning of a word. You will always see IE in the middle. Okay? So that's just something to keep in mind, that if you see IE together, you'll only see it in the middle, and there will be a letter on each side. Those 2 vowels, they work together. All right, so let's get started with high frequency words. So of course, make sure you're practicing. It's the best way to really build those skills. Woman, right, caught, flew, food, warm, blue, small, give, ate, animal, hour, other, into, more, start, laugh, were, hard, near, would, found, listen, know, over, find, because, or, carry, about. Wonderful, thank you. So let's get started with some blending. All right, first word, each, your turn. E, long E, cha, each, each. There's EA at the beginning. See, EA can come at the beginning of a word. In some words, it'll come at the end. And that is a vowel team. They work together. Work together to say that long E sound. And CH, another one of those digraphs from a few weeks ago. You have to just know that CH, when you see them together, they are always going to say cha. They will never ever say kaha. There's not any word that when CH are together, it will say ka-ha. Never ever ever. You just have to know. CH, cha. So E-ch, each. Next word, neat, your turn. E, t, neat. And says, And the long E sound that you hear in the middle of the word neat is EA. A vowel team works together to say that long E sound. E. Then T says ta, e, t, neat. So of course, if you're ever doing some writing and I really need to write the word neat, you can sound the word out and write the letter as you hear it. So when you hear that long E, you just kind of try it out. When you're spelling it, you might write it with 2 E's, or you might write it with E, or you might write it with IE. But the word is spelled with an EA. And like I said, eventually, with enough practice, the more you see this word, the more you sound it out, the more you will just know the word, and you won't even have to think about sounding it out. You'll just know that that word is neat. All right, next word. See. Your turn. S. E. See. So the word see, also a high frequency word that we can sound out. Now we can sound it out because we have those extra spellings of the long sounds and the cha sounds. We have those in our back pocket. So S says S. And in the word see, maybe you already know how to spell this word because you've seen it so many times. The vowel team that works together to say E. S, E, see. So again, if you know this word because you've seen it so many times, you have mastered your high frequency words, then you don't even have to worry about sounding it out. You just see, S-E-E, and you know that it is the word see. Next word. Chief. Your turn. Cha. E. F. Chief. Chief. So at the beginning of the word chief, I hear C-H. I hear cha. And again, you will never see C-H, say ka and ha. C-H's together, it always, always, always says cha. And in this spelling of the long E, we are using I-E. That is our vowel team that works together to say that long E that you hear in the middle of the word. Chief, cha, eef, chief. And then F says f, cha, e, f, chief. So again, yeah, that I-E, they work together. The I comes first. Normally in all of the other ones, the E comes first. But in this spelling of long E, chi, I comes first. And it follows the rules that we talked about here. There is a sound before it. There is a sound after it. So there are two blanks pretty much. And that it will always appear like that. If it's I-E, there will always be sounds on both sides. All right, so let's read our first line. Each, neat, see, chief. Your turn. Lovely. Okay, next word. Field. Your turn. E, old, field, field. Now, field is another word where when I say it, I hear E in the middle. Field. F says, and our vowel team in this word is I-E. E, old, old. So think of the letters you hear for old. L-D. O-D. Old. E, old, field. So again, the I-E, it follows the rules that we now know for I-E. I-E always will have a letter at the beginning or, next to it, and always will have a letter or a sound after it. That's what our blanks mean here. Okay. Next word. Sneeze. Achoo. Sneeze. S-N. S-N. Sn. Like I said, you can sound it out letter by letter and you'll still get that sound. Not like with cha. You will never get ka-ha if you try to sound it out letter by letter. But S-N or L-D, those kinds of blends, you can sound them out letter by letter and you'll still get the same sound in the word. So, sn, E, E, that's our vowel team, works together to say long E, sn, E, snee. Z says z, sneeze, sneeze, but in this word, there are actually two ways that we are seeing long E. Because look, we have E-E in the middle, okay? And then, look, we also have E blank E. So remember, E blank E, there's always a letter between those two E's. That's like a silent E. So, sn, E, z, sneeze. So again, yeah, this E doesn't say anything because when we blended that word without the E, it sounded like the word sneeze. Achoo! But when you have the E there, still says sneeze because that E is silent. Next word, feed. Your turn. E, da. Feed. I'm going to feed my cat. F says f. 2 E's, that's our vowel team, works together to say long E. E. And D says da. E, da. Feed. Next word. Hat. Your turn. Ha. Ah. T. Hat. So when I say the word hat, I don't hear a long sound in the middle. I don't hear long A. I hear a. Hat. So it is just a short A. H says ha. A says ah. Not a vowel team, just short A. Ah. T says ta. Ha. At. Hat. So last week we worked on the long A sound, and we learned that A by itself can also say the long sound ah. So if we try it with the long sound ha ate. Well, that does sound like a word I know. I know the word hate, but when I look at the picture in the book, it doesn't really see two people who are unhappy. It sees, or I see, just a man wearing a hat. So I'm going to flip it. I'm going to try it with short A and see if it sounds right. Ha, at, hat. All right, let's read our second line. Field, sneeze, feed, hat. Your turn. Excellent. Okay, so I am going to add one letter to this word, hat. And I'm going to turn it into the long E sound. I'm going to turn it into the word heat. I still hear ha, and I still hear ta. In the middle of the word heat, say it, heat, I hear the letter E. So heat, ha, E, t, heat. H says ha. E-A, our vowel team that works together to say long E. Ha, E, excuse me. T says ta, ha, eat, heat. So notice between the word heat and the word hat, all I did was add one letter. That letter was an E. And the E changes that sound, and it turns it from a to E. So that's another way that just one letter can change the sound and the meaning of a word. Okay, next word. Bridge. Your turn. Burr. I-ja. Bridge. Bridge. So again, I don't hear long E in this word. Burr, b-er, are blend at the beginning. Remember, of course, you can sound them out letter by letter. You just might get lost by the time you get to the end. Burr. I says I. Remember, there's no silent E. We don't hear I. And D-G-E. Now, those letters, all three of them work together. And they're going to say that soft G. The soft G, if you remember, says ja. And D-G-E. Those three letters, when you put them together, say ja. You won't ever hear da-ga-e, da-ga-e, da-ga-e. That will never, ever be a sound when you have D-G-E together. It will always be ja. Br-I-ja. Bridge. Next word. Shape. Your turn. Sh. A. Pa. Shape. So in the word shape, I hear SH at the beginning. SH is another one of those digraphs. Shh. You will never ever, with digraphs, you will never ever hear S say S and H say huh. It will never, your word will never sound like saha, saha. It will not. So, shh. An A blank E, silent E. If there's an A, some letter, and then E, that means the E is silent, and the A will change from A to A. Sh, A. He says pa, sh, A, p, shape. One more word. Stone, your turn. Sta, o, stone. S-T, sta, sta. And there's O blanky, saying that long O sound. Sta, O. Remember that silent E doesn't say anything. It doesn't say eh, and it doesn't say E. It's just there to tell the O to say O, not aw. So sta, O. And says sta, O, stone. Excellent. Let's read our last line. Heat, bridge, shape, stone. Your turn. Lovely. Okay, let's do a sentence. W, beginning of a sentence, gotta be a capital letter. So I'm pretty sure that we, I believe, is a high frequency word from kinder. Pretty sure. But now, we've got the long E sound spelled by E by itself. We've got that sound in our back pocket, so we can sound this word out. Wa, E, we. And W says wa. I says eh. Double up on the o, wa, il, will. So again, if you see two consonants, in this case it's L, you don't have to say two L's. You don't have to say wa, o, wa, o. You can just try to, get it in your head that two consonants at the end will just say that one sound. So we will. EA, vowel team, works together to say the long E sound. T says ta, eat, eat. Okay, so we will eat. Oh, look at that. Eat, another high frequency word that we can sound out now that we have learned, hopefully, that EA says E. We will eat. A. B says ba. I. No silent E, not I blanky. So I, G says g, ba, ig, big. So the reason you know that this G is going to be just a regular hard G, which is what they call it, is because there is no E after it, and it's not D-G-E. So this G, just going to be ga, ba, ig, big. We will eat a big. F says E-A, vowel team, to say that long E sound. E. S-T, sta, sta, east, feast. We will eat a big feast on. S says S. So look, it's capital. It's a capital S. So that means it's going to be like an important word. It's going to be a name or like some kind of proper name, which of course means it's going to be a noun. S says S. U says N says sun, sun. D says duh. And AY, vowel team. We just learned last week that AY can say the long A sound. Sunday, Sunday. So again, you may not even have to worry about sounding out this word, because I bet you've probably seen this word Sunday a whole bunch of times. So you just know, you've seen it in a calendar every day of the week, or your parents talk about what we're going to do on Sunday, like this Sunday. So you've probably just seen this word a bunch of times, so you don't have to think about how to sound it out. So let's read our sentence. We will eat a big feast on Sunday. Your turn. Lovely. So we need some punctuation. So in this sentence, we will eat a big feast on Sunday. I would just give this a period, just a regular period. It's just telling what we are going to do. We are going to eat a big feast on Sunday. So now let's do some nouns. So let's just go straight through, starting at the beginning. So we is a noun, but it's that special kind of noun that we've talked about. It is a pronoun. And that just means that it means more of us, okay? But the thing about the word we is, if I am saying it, if I'm saying this sentence, it means me, myself, and somebody else. Somebody else. It could be 4 other people. It could be just me and one other person. So if you were saying this sentence about me, as in they will eat a big feast on Sunday, meaning it's somebody else that's going to eat it, you are not a part of that group, then you would use the word they, okay? So it would be they will eat a big feast on Sunday, and that word they would still be a pronoun, okay? So in this sentence, the word we, it's a pronoun, and again, pronoun takes the place of a noun. In this case, it's more than one noun. You could say, Mr. Porter and Mrs. Porter will eat a big feast on Sunday. That will still be a correct sentence, but using the word we just makes it sound better. So, yeah, we, pronoun. Next one, feast. Feast is a noun. It is something that you can see. It is something that you can touch. And Sunday is also a noun because it is a place, kind of. It is a thing. It's a time, just like the word week or the word day that we worked on yesterday. I just made a rhyme. So Sunday is also a noun. Again, it's not a noun you can see, and it's not a noun that you can touch, but it is a noun because it describes a place. It describes a state of being, which is also a noun. All right, so let's do some verbs. Now, what a verb is something that a noun is doing. So what are we doing? We are going to eat. So that is the verb, okay? Now, will eat, those words kind of work together to make that verb. So will is kind of a verb. So I'm just going to put a green dotted box around that because it's kind of a verb. And in this sentence, they work together to tell what we are doing. We will eat. We haven't done it yet. We're going to do it in the future, but we will eat. If we were going to say we're doing it right now, then we don't have the word will. We have the word eating. We would have the word are eating a big feast on Sunday. And again, if we were talking about how we were doing it right now, a lot of this sentence would change. We would say, we are eating a big feast on Sunday. So this, if we were saying we're doing it right now, this would probably change on Sunday, would probably change to the word today, because that means we're doing it right now. We are eating a big feast today. So that's how you would say the sentence if we're doing it right now. So since we're using the word will, we're talking about that it's going to happen in the future. It hasn't happened yet. Okay, and we do have an adjective. So an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So look at the words we have left. We've got on, a, and big. So only one of those words describes one of our nouns. You might be able to guess what it is. Big. Big is the word that describes the feast. I'm going to kind of put an arrow here. Big it describes what the feast is. So if you didn't have the word big, we will eat a feast on Sunday, that's still a correct sentence. But the word big just gives it oomph. It tells more about one of the nouns. It modifies the noun. It describes the noun. All right. Wonderful. Thanks so much for your focus and participation. We'll see you later.